Okay, Carolyn, please introduce your guests.
Well, it's my pleasure today to introduce Angela Barnes. She is with the Good Samaritan House, where she has worked for 3 years. And for more than 20 years, she's been doing shelter work and helping people who are having challenges with homelessness, and all of the issues that life sometimes throws our way. I had the joy of meeting her doing some strategic planning at Good Samaritan House, and she has a very cool vision for the organization and has been really spearheading some exciting changes. And so here to tell you about it is Angela Barnes.
The UFO is a hard act to follow, so I hope I do it justice.
See yourself there?
Yes, I can see myself. I don't know if that's a good thing. Okay. All right. My name is Angela Barnes, and I am the executive director at Good Samaritan House. And I've been there 3 years, as Carolyn said. And I want to thank you for inviting me to speak today to share the good work of Good Sam. And that didn't work. It's not working. That's the button?
That's the one.
Okay. Okay.
Did you break it?
Maybe my face. Okay, let's try it again. Okay. All right. So today I understand I only have a short amount of time to speak. So I would like to briefly go over our history, services, impact, mission moments, how we're better together, our contributors, volunteer opportunities, and ways to connect. The first is our mission. Our mission is to empower mothers and children to live with dignity and achieve self-sufficiency by offering guidance, shelter, and hope. Are you familiar with Good Samaritan House? Raise your hand if you are. Okay. So let me just start there then. Good Samaritan House, we are a shelter for homeless moms and their children. And we'll kind of get into the history in a minute, but we do have 10 beds for 10 families. And the most that we've had there in the 3 years that I've been was last Christmas. We had 10 moms and 39 children. So that was a lot of pitter patter at Christmas. We did have Santa visit too, so it was wonderful. So the history of Good Sam, it started with some thought partners in 1997, 1998. The church, some community members, some leaders just started to discuss, what were some needs in Granite City. And so in 1998, that's when Good Sam began. And it was 6 bedrooms, and now we've expanded to 10. And then they closed for a little bit. And then in 2019, that's when they reopened. And then I started in 2021-ish. So, and it was reopened by a mother and daughter duo. So that was kind of interesting, and the connection there. So I won't go reading the history. You guys can read the history. I can, because I'm on a time frame. The services that we provide are housing, daily life skills, employment readiness, and financial. So when the moms come in, we kind of assess where they're at. And it's not a cookie cutter approach. We see, first of all, our goal is to provide permanent housing to them so they can stay 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. But that is the ultimate goal, for them to acquire permanent housing. And then we look into like their daily life skills. Do they need help cooking? Do they need help with their, how to do laundry? Do they need a resume? Do we need to help them like with some interview questions? So it's kind of like a one-stop shop. And they have housing plans and housing goals and weekly goals that they have to complete in order to stay there, because they can't just come there and wait for us to do all the work. So it has to be like a joint venture together. So, but they do have weekly goals, and we have to see that there's progress being made. The homeless, this is our impact. So this is the homeless that we've served since we reopened. And as you can see, from 2021, 22, 23, the numbers continuously go up. And then the orange on the ends, that's 2024. So that's halfway through this year. So you can see that we're going to supersede even last year's numbers. So there's definitely a need in our area. These are the demographics. Primarily the mother's ages are 31 to 50, and the mother's race is African American. The demographics of the kids, 41% are 2 to 5, and for the girls, and the boys are 6 to 12, and then again, the race is primarily African American. More of our impact, babies will call Good Sam their first home. We've had 2 newborns born there for the last 2 years. We have a mom that's there right now. She's 9 months pregnant and she's ready to deliver. So we'll be able to add another baby to that. Number of bed, number of bed nights provided last year was 6,429 nights. First time in a shelter, 73% of the moms reported this is their first time in a shelter. And successful exits. Successful exits is that permanent housing piece. And we had 84% in FY22 and 81% in FY23. So according to the state, those are phenomenal numbers because their expectation is we'll be happy with 40%. So when they saw that our numbers were in the 80s, they were like, you guys are doing a great job. And I have a fantastic team that works with these moms and kids because it's not easy. Because, you know, they come from a lot of backgrounds and, you know, having 10 moms and 39 kids and everybody kind of meshing under one roof. But yeah, I have a wonderful team that works with them. So here's some mission moments. And the first mission moment, I'll just kind of summarize. We had a mom that came in. She had 3 kids and she had no transportation. She had to get them all to different schools in the morning. She did not have a job. She had no finances. And so after she dropped them off, we helped her with her resume. We helped her with interviewing skills. And she was ready to go to one of the job fairs and she caught COVID. So she had to be quarantined. Her kids had to be quarantined. So once that was over, she's ready to go. And Madison County had a job fair. And she came back from that job fair and Madison County hired her and her salary was $45,000. So she's a success story. She still works there. So our next one, is it coming through? Our next mission moment, we had a mom with 4 kids and she was very embarrassed to come to the shelter, but she had nowhere to go. She had, again, no money and she had outstanding bills. We had helped her find resources to help pay for those bills. And in the course of that, we were talking about child support. And lo and behold, she had found from the child support office that she had a card and it had $2,000 on it. And when you're homeless and you're living in your car, you don't have an address. So they had nowhere to send the money. And so they've been searching for her for a few years. And so that was a godsend. So anyway, so she went from living in her car to an apartment. And then our next one, this was a domestic violence story. So this mom was fleeing domestic violence. She had a little boy. They were living in the car. And she said to him that night that she was going to have to put him up for adoption. And so she said it was raining. She said it was stormy. And the next morning it was clear. It was, you know, beautiful day. And she was like, I'm just going to reach out to the homeless hotline. And she reached out. We had a room. She came in. And I mean, it makes me kind of cry. But anyways, it was beautiful. So we helped her get into her own safe apartment. And she's with her son today. And his name is Marcus. He's got big dimples. And so they come and visit. And he's the best. So these are just little, you know, thank you cards that we get, which we're very, very appreciative of. And this next section, how we're better together. This is how our community comes together. We've had assistance from Restoration Church, Granite City and Pontoon Beach Police Department and firefighters, St. Boniface, the Bernard Long Elementary, they had a Socktoberfest. So the little kids, you know, gathered all kinds of socks for us. Royal Banks of Granite City, Federal Reserve Bank, we had Santa's elves come in and wrap presents for the kids. US Granite City Steel. We've had Metro Community Church, Church Women United, Project Compassion, Granite City Credit Union. Just all kinds of people have come together and really, and this is again, just in the last 3 years to really make Good Sam what it is today. So as you can see, a lot of people coming together. Those are our mission contributors. And our volunteer opportunities, we can always use any kind of cleaning supplies, any donated food. We have paint there for like Paint It Forward. As I understand, some people in the audience have come and actually painted bedrooms. Toiletry supplies, weed eating, laundry supplies, garbage bags, anything like that we could always use, as well as maintenance. So as you can imagine, working at a nonprofit, we, you know, wear a lot of hats. So yeah, maintenance, and with 39 kids at one time, we have broken ladders, broken toys. So if you ever want to just volunteer some of your time, that would be great. And then these are other ways to connect. We have an Amazon wish list. We have a Facebook page, PayPal, and then our website. And then that's my fantastic team. We have our leadership team, housing managers, and then our board of directors. Any questions? Go back. Go back again.
Go back.
Which one, that one? Sure. It's on, yeah, you can tear it on that page. Save your cloud space, is that what you said? All right, are there any questions? Yes, yes, yes. No, actually it's a bank.
Really?
Yeah, so it's a donated bank. It's wonderful. And in our kitchen, so all of the sides and, you know, mac and cheese and stuff, that's actually in the safe and it's in the vault of the bank. So it's like a big circle thing. Yeah, that's how we get into our food. So yeah, it's a bank. The average length of stay is 45 days. So, but some people, you know, again, it's not a cookie cutter approach, but the average length of stay is 45.
So if you have that many people in there, you said it's a bank. Did you have to build like a bunch of showers and a bunch of,
So we have 3 bathrooms and they share that.
Okay.
And then there's 1 kitchen. So basically what we have is we have a menu for the month, and there's like 2 rooms and they're responsible for the meal that night. And so if it was Carolyn and I responsible for that, we would cook the food for the night for everybody in the facility. And then tomorrow night, it would be 2 more moms because, you know, there's not a lot of space. So it's just enough space for Carolyn and I to cook that night. And then they serve, you know, the food and stuff. A lot of chicken nuggets for the kids. Sure. Yeah, a lot of hot dogs. Yes.
Do you get any state or?
Yes. So when I started there was about $17,000 in the bank, and I've applied for grants, and we have state, federal, and local funding now.
Percentage does that make like the grant?
how does it break down?
About 90%.
90% is grants.
Yes. And we just received another grant for hotel vouchers. So we are now able to help those who are homeless and get them into a hotel, and they can stay 30, 60, 90 with the same program. So we make sure that there's, you know, housing goals and things like that for them, so they're not just, you know, hanging out in the hotel. So there's someone that follows them every day. All right, thank you so much.
Angela, you're doing amazing work.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, this is for you on behalf of the supposed family.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Most welcome.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yep, yep.